Harvester Show Initiate.
Hi there, Initiates. The previous episode of the Harvester Show was called How Did We Come This Far? And the episode you are watching now is a sequel to that. So, let's continue the story of Lodge Level 4. Where were we? Oh yeah, it was March 2013 and I had just released the interview with Lisa Kangelosi. In May 2013, I released the interview with Kurt Kistler, the actor of the player character Steve. If you want to know more about my adventures with Kurt, you'll have to watch the episode 10. I have to give credit to Kurt for introducing me to Kevin Obregon, who was one of the main designers of Harvester. You can see Kevin on the Making of Harvester video talking with Gilbert Austin, the writer and director of Harvester. Kevin designed the logo of Harvester and the sign of Harvester, the so-called twin sight. He also did the role of Sergeant at Arms.
He did a damn good job.
He sure did. Kevin told me a lot about the making process of Harvester. He also told me who had composed the fantastic soundtrack of the game. According to the intro of Harvester, the music was created by Zork Productions, but it's impossible to find any information about that because Zork Productions doesn't exist. Kevin revealed that the man behind the soundtrack was Hamilton Altstadt. I tracked down Hamilton and he told me it was his own decision not to be mentioned in the credits of Harvester. Back then, Hamilton's main employer was Disney, so he didn't want his name to be associated with the most violent video game ever created. In July 2013, I released the interview with Hamilton. Kevin told me also that Sergeant at Arms and Steve had the same voice actor, Ryan Wickerham. Of course I tracked down Ryan too, and in August 2013 I released the interview with him. Around this time, many people who were making Harvester found my fan page on Facebook. Many of them had different names on Facebook than in the manual of the game, and that's why I hadn't found them first. In September 2013, already 200 people liked my fan page. To celebrate that, I released this image where you can see many people who at that point liked the fan page. There's artist Timothy Higgins, who also did the role of the chess master.
I am the chess master. Any initiate who wishes to pass this way must do so over my dead body.
There's Thomas Lima, who was responsible for the technical design and did the role of the chainsaw clown.
All right.
There's Mikey Dino, who was one of the main designers of Harvester and did the role of the cue card man.
So don't go away.
There's artist Chad Vojevodchik, who didn't do any role, so he's there in his real 90s outfit. And there's Tracy Odell, who did the role of the dark exotic woman. But what about Gilbert Austin, the writer and director of Harvester? In the previous episode of the Harvester Show, I told you guys about Professor Griffin's Midnight Shadow Show, which was a local TV show in Austin, Texas. One of the characters of the show was called Dan Dan, and he was played by an actor Gilbert Austin. Dan Dan always wore a mask, so you couldn't see his face. On the website of the show there was a photo of the actor of Dan Dan, and I was sure he was the Gilbert Austin I was looking for.
I warned you not to parade my ledgers around.
In Harvester, Gilbert Austin did the role of Mr. Moynihan. The actor of Dan Dan looked just like him. just without hair and beard. I sent emails to all the addresses I could find from Professor Griffin's website, but no one replied to me. That happened about 10 years ago. Later, in 2012, I noticed Professor Griffin had a YouTube channel, and I decided to try one more time.
Test your horror knowledge with Mr. Professor. It's time for horror trivia.
1939's Son of Frankenstein was a smash hit for Universal.
I wrote a comment under the video called Professor Griffin's Fear Facts, Frankenstein Monster No More. Yeah, Das Jolbidem was me. Does that avatar look familiar? It should, because it's my alien head. When I played Harvester for the first time, I saw an alien head on the wall of Mr. Pastorelli's barber shop.
What? You think you can get one of those at a swap meet?
I knew immediately that I had to get one too, so I asked my friend to make me one. And that's how Mr. Moose was born. Back to my YouTube comment. I asked if the actor of Dan Dan was the same guy who created Harvester. This time someone replied to me, but the answer to my question was not the one I was hoping for. I was really disappointed and I decided to forget about Professor Griffin. In May 2013, I received a message from a journalist who was working on a big online gaming mag. He suspected Gilbert was working under the name Gil Austin, but he didn't have time to investigate that. I always have time for that kind of a detective work, and I soon found out that Gil Austin had directed a movie called My Naked Villain, and he had wrote a book called Hamlet Z. In 2013, both the movie and the book had websites, but they don't exist anymore. That's a shame, because the website of My Naked Villain contained plenty of still shots of the movie and even some video. Now that the website is gone, so is all the footage. Luckily, I downloaded one of the still shots when I found the website. Here's Gil Austin, the director, writer and leading actor of My Naked Villain. Can you see a resemblance? He looks just like the actor of Dan Dan. I sent emails to all the addresses I could find from the websites of My Naked Villain and Hamlet Z. I received one reply, and it said, "Yes, I'm the guy you are looking for." It's useless to even try to describe my emotions at that moment. I could say I almost fell off the chair, but I more likely almost fell off the planet. Gil had no idea Harvester had a fan base, and he was very impressed with my fan page. He also told me he really was the actor of Dan Dan, and he didn't know why no one had forwarded my emails to him and why Professor Griffin's reply to my YouTube comment was like it was. I had so many questions for Gil that I released the interview with him in 2 parts. The first part in October 2013 and the second part in March 2014. In October 2015 I finally released the interview with Kevin. It was the last written interview I did. Finding Gil was one of the highlights of my life, and soon after that became another one. During 2013 I began to receive messages from people who wanted to know the copyright holder of Harvester. One of them represented GOG and one represented Night Dive Studios. I had made Harvester so popular that some companies wanted to re-release it. I discussed with my Harvester friends and it became obvious the copyright holder was Lee Jacobson.
I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my office and don't come back.
He was the producer of Harvester, who also did the role of Mr. McKnight. I delivered Lee's contact information to the people who had asked my help. Later I helped GOG even more. They needed me to confirm that the version they were gonna release was uncensored. I also delivered them some stuff they used as a bonus content. One of the bonus contents is the soundtrack of Harvester. In the end of the soundtrack, there's an internet link named "You have been invited to the lodge." GOG added the link there and it leads to my fan page. That's how GOG thanked me for my help. GOG released Harvester in March 2014. Night Dive Studios released it in Steam in April 2014. Also Steam released the soundtrack as a bonus content. Steam stole the soundtrack straight from GOG, and that's why also there is a link to my fan page. The day when GOG released Harvester was one of the best days in my life. Suddenly Harvester was available for everyone, and it was introduced to a whole new generation of gamers. I had brought Harvester back from the grave. It was almost too good to be true. GOG edited my interview with Gil a little bit and released it on their own site. Thanks to that, they offered me 3 games from their catalog. Any games at all. I thought the community should have those games, so I put up a contest. Anyone who liked and shared this pic on Facebook participated in the contest, and 3 luckiest won any game they wanted from the GOG catalog. By the way, one of the winners was Dovclass Fear, who later started to sell these amazing Harvester clothes and some other Harvester products on Redbubble. The next really big thing happened in January 2015 when Mike Napodano shipped me this box from Texas to Finland. Just before I was opening the box, I decided to film that exciting moment and share it with the fans. That's basically how the Harvester show was born. And what the box contained was something unbelievable. Original drawings. It says town. The script of Harvester. Agency, directory. Speaking of the script, in the next episode we'll concentrate on it. The name of the episode will be Secrets of the Script. So, where are we now? When I created the fan page, my main purpose was to gather all Harvester fans around the world together and keep the game alive. I had no idea someday I would have fans too, and so many of them. I've received an enormous amount of messages where people praise my work and, well, me. Some have even sent me gifts, like this handmade spinal cord by Tyler Mouton. And last month, the mailman brought me this.
That's a fucking awesome wall tapestry.
Isn't it? A hardcore fan of the show, Johan Harding, designed it and delivered it to me. And it was a total surprise.
I want one. Where can I get it?
Johan is selling it on Redbubble. The link is under the video.
That'll look good in the lodge.
Where exactly are you gonna hang it?
To the Harvest Moon Art Gallery.
Oh, of course. Also, this mug is a gift from Johan. Check out his Redbubble. There's plenty of cool Harvester stuff available. The link is under the video, like other important links. That's about it. Oh, one thing I still have to mention. It's been an amazing experience to make Let's Play Harvester series with Adventure Game Geek.
What a great role model for kids.
And if someone watches the Harvester show and become a serial killer, well, it says something about the kid, not me.
That's right, I see.
Playing with Steven is always a pleasure, and I can't wait for the next time. I couldn't hope for any better companion to make videos with. This sick game has brought so many wonderful people into my life. Thank you all for joining in this weird trip of mine. Special thanks to the people who support my work financially on Patreon. Too bad I can never meet any of you guys in real life. Because that would end up in a massacre. I'm a harvester, after all.
You always were a kidder.
And you always had an eye for art.
That's why I'm on your show.
Exactly. See you guys next month.
Donate to Patreon and subscribe. Initiate.